Desmond Howard here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Des?
I'm doing fantastic, Richard. Thanks for having me on your show. How you doing, buddy?
You bet. What was that memory like for you now, running back then?
Oh man, I tell you what, they cannot play that enough. I mean, it was a special moment, and to be honest with you, Rich, I was just, trying to make a play and what we consider the biggest rivalry in all sports, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so it meant just that much more to me to get into the end zone against the Buckeyes at home, and the pose afterwards was just a spontaneous reaction to everything that I was dealing with leading up to that game, and actually during that game too, because I was to catch that punt. The punt was traveling inside the 10-yard line, and as a general rule of thumb is if the ball is going over your head with your heels on the 10-yard line, you're not supposed to back up and catch it. But like I said, I was just trying to make a play, and, I was frustrated because I couldn't get anything really going, anything big going that day. So I took a chance, my man. I rolled the dice.
Well, look, Desmond, thank goodness that you did. And I don't want to make either of us feel old, but, that's the 25th anniversary of that run back.
I know.
25 years ago now.
Yeah, I know. No, you're right. And I was talking to Jim Harbaugh about that last week because I was in Ann Arbor. They were honoring me for the 25th anniversary, and I was like, yeah. I made the comment about getting old. He's like, no, don't use that word. Just think young. Just think young, and you'll feel young. I'm like, you know what, Jim, you're right. We're good.
That said, the situation involving the quarterback right now is making me old and gray. Let's get into the brass tacks of the X's and O's here for this big game on Saturday. What do you think Michigan needs to do to come out with the W in the horseshoe, Desmond?
I'm going to tell you what it comes down to, Rich. It comes down to winning the battle in the trenches. That's what it's going to come down to. I know everyone's looking at the everything on the perimeter. You're looking at the quarterback situation, and you want to see how do the receivers match up with the defensive backs. But to me, it's going to come down to the battle in the trenches. Obviously, J.T. Barrett is a quarterback that wants and needs to run the ball. He does not really want to pass the ball. Urban doesn't want him throwing the ball too much either. So anytime things get dicey with Ohio State's offense, you're going to see the ball in J.T. Barrett's hands as a runner, not as a passer. So we got to win the battle in the trenches and make sure we stop the run. And every time J.T. touches that ball and he crosses the line of scrimmage with it, or if he drops back for a pass, they're going to have to make him pay. And the flip side is, Michigan needs to get the running game going. Obviously, he struggled somewhat in the first half against Indiana a week ago, but then the second half, I think they figured some things out. But even the week before, that's what really killed Michigan was the battle in the trenches. I mean, Iowa dominated the battle in the trenches on both sides of the ball. So that's what it's going to come down to. And you have some guys who talk about, man, that team got some dudes and this team got some dudes. Rich, this battle right here, this street fight comes down to who got some dogs up there. You got to have some dogs to come out with a victory in this game. I'm trying to tell you, I played in a few of these, and we had some dogs on our team, and that's why we were victorious. And that's why I never, ever experienced defeat at the hands of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Desmond Howard here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what was it like playing in this game? Did it felt different? Did Bo make it different? Did I guess Gary Moeller make it different? Desmond?
Yeah, well, actually, both coaches, made it different, and they didn't hide the fact that this was a special game. You hear some coaches nowadays, they try to say, hey, it's just another game. This is go about our business as usual. But nah, man, this was what we would call a red letter game up on our board in the meeting room. It held special significance. Things were much more intense that week, and you knew that you were about to go to war with your arch enemy. So, and they didn't hide it. They let you know that this was the game.
Yeah, I had Urban Meyer on Monday. He called it personal, Desmond. He said this game's personal, that there's respect, but it's personal.
when
it all comes down to it. You would agree with that, I assume.
I would agree with that without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, it's definitely personal. Like I said, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so it's even that much more personal and special to me. So he's right. There's a lot of respect. There's no doubt about that. But it's personal. You want to go out there and you want to handle your business against these guys.
So are there family members that are still upset that you went to Michigan or that were rooting against you while you were playing, in a way? Des? I mean, the fact that you represent the maize and blue, you Charles Woodson from that state, right? Seriously.
I know. How ironic that the last two Heisman Trophy winners from the University of Michigan were born and raised in Ohio. So I guess Michigan, they recruit very well in the state of Ohio. I didn't have any close family members that had any issues with it,
yes.
But he has some down the line.
Well, now maybe the next Heisman Trophy winner from Michigan is from the state of New Jersey, and Jabrill Peppers. Do you think he needs a hello Heisman type game for Michigan to win this, or not, Des?
Yes, I do. I think this is the game where your best players, they must step up for you to win. And Jabrill Peppers is not only the best player who will be on the field, but he's, in my opinion, the best player in the country. He's going to have a big game. I think that I would expect to see him. If you don't see him more on offense, I think he would be used more prominently on offense. And obviously, I'm really anxious to see what Urban Meyer does, and as far as the kicking game is concerned, if he punts the ball to Jabrill, or if he kicks to him kickoff. So, Jabrill's going to have a big game. He's going to have to figure out a way to make a play or two in order for Michigan to be in this game and to come away with a victory.
So what's it going to be like for you to go to the Horseshoe with College Game Day? Well, I mean, what's that going to be like? 5 hours, not just the regular show. You got the whole 5, 7, 8, and noon kick.
I'm glad you mentioned the 5. It's like I'm on punishment. I don't know what I did.
Hey, it's the big game. Hey, blame it on Michigan. Back in major relevance here. It's 2 versus 3, right? I mean,
yeah, no, you're right. It's huge.
But Herb Street's the mayor there. I mean, he'll be taken care of there, right?
Exactly. And that'll be quite the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's going to be interesting. I want to see if they can keep that up for 5 hours. There's normally some boos and some very negative chants with some expletives as a part of those chants during our broadcast. But so it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually keep that up for 5 straight hours. And then we don't know what the weather's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be cold. Last week we got snow, but I'm not sure we're going to get any snow, but I'm sure it's going to be cold. So let's see if they can actually stand out there for 5 strong hours and boo the Michigan man.
So before I let you go here, Desmond, Michigan wins. They go to the Big Ten championship game and take on, we assume, Wisconsin. Ohio State wins. They get to chill out, and they don't even need to play in a Big Ten championship game, which I think that the conference should do away with anyway. Do you think Michigan can lose this game and still have a leg to stand on against 2 lost teams like Oklahoma, Penn State, even Wisconsin? What do you think?
I guess the best case scenario would be for Michigan to lose in a tight game that comes down to the wire, and it's actually they lose by 2 points or 1 point or something like that, last second field goal, where it's one of those epic instant classic matchups that people will be talking about for years and years to come. I think that's probably one of the scenarios that I've heard talked about as far as, Michigan still being in the mix, even if they don't win in Columbus.
Desmond, have a great time. Soak it in. Be the good luck charm. Whatever we need, okay? Maybe you get out there. You get out there.
I know, that's right. I would love to. Thanks, my man. Thanks for having me.
Always. That's Desmond Howard.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.